I am the ecstatically proud father of a beautiful 3-year-old boy named Noah. My son loves me. Well, actually, he doesn't just love me, he adores me. He treasures me. When Noah hasn't seen me for a few hours or even a few minutes, he explodes with joy. I mean, it doesn't matter who he's with or what he's doing. He drops everything and he runs at me full speed. And I crouch down and he smashes into me and he wraps his arms around the back of my neck. And he squeals with delight. And one of Noah's favorite things to do is to grab my face in his tiny little hands, and he twists and contorts my face into shapes that my face should never take. And then he looks me straight in the eye, and without a hint of irony he says, "Oh, you're so beautiful, I love you so much." Now you're probably thinking that kind of love must be awe-inspiring and heartwarming and breathtaking. And it is. But do you know what else it is? Annoying. If you've ever had or taken care of small children, you know that being the object of that kind of complete attention and affection can be difficult and challenging and flat out exhausting. I mean, I love the times that Noah and I spend here together, just the two of us, but I know I'm going to be bombarded repeatedly and mercilessly with that one word, Daddy. Daddy! 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 And no sooner do I try to answer one of his questions than he lobs another and another and another, and I just get tired of hearing him say my name. And what's worse, I get tired of hearing my voice say, "What? What? 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 What?" So love can be beautiful and annoying. It reminds me of Psalm 139, where David writes so eloquently about God's obsessive love for us. He writes, "Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast." And sometimes when I read these words of closeness and intimacy, I feel warm and protected. But sometimes when I read them, I feel vulnerable and naked, like God knows who I am and where I am all the time. And it reminds me of Noah, and I feel like I could write a psalm that says, "Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I try to go to the bathroom, you're there. And if I want to lay down and take a nap, you're with me. And if I'm hiding, lying in a fetal position on the closet floor, you find me." Some parents say they get a small window into God's love for them through their feelings for their own children. But I've discovered it powerfully through Noah's affection for me. You see, the love of God is intrusive and unyielding, and it's annoying because much like my son's love, it disregards my agenda or my plans or my mood. I can remember one time recently Noah and I were here together, and it had been one of those days, where everything goes wrong, and you're mad at the world and you just want to brood and dwell on your darkness. And in the middle of this day, Noah had an accident, one that I had treated like it was on purpose. And I'd pretty much hit the limit of what I could take. Now, I didn't throw things and I didn't yell. I simply shut down. I just wanted to be alone and to nurture my negativity. And so I sat here angrily, silently folding laundry. Did you know that you could fold laundry angrily? And I'll never forget, Noah said that word, "Daddy." I said, "What?" And he said, "What's wrong with your face?" I said, "What?" He said, "What's wrong with your face? Are you angry? Are you mad?" And he hugged me. I mean, I was floored. I was unsettled by the way that he could read me, and I was just broken down by his care for me, his refusal to let me stay there in my sadness. God loves us this way. He sees the things that we try to hide, and He cherishes us and pursues us. And He loves us enough to inconvenience us by interrupting our agenda. Over and over in the Scriptures we see a God so passionate, so consumed with love for His people, that He's willing to disregard their rebellion and their ignorance and their desires so that He can stop them long enough to confront them with their own lovedness. So we can read a story about the shepherd rescuing that sheep, and we forget that maybe the sheep didn't want to be rescued. The good news is, what you've heard all these years is true. God is love. But the bad news, or the annoying news, is that you and me are the objects of that love. For me, that's meant being pestered and bothered by Jesus. In my life, he's been a supernatural stalker. He's been a spiritual telemarketer. Once he has your number, he's going to keep calling and calling until you see yourself the way he sees you. God, in the midst of our junk and in the midst of the messes of life, he interrupts our plans, invades our space, and he looks at us and he says, "What's wrong? What's wrong with your face? Are you angry?" The God of the universe puts his hands on our face and he says without a trace of irony, "You're so beautiful. I love you so much." So know, believe, and embrace the annoying love of Jesus.
I love you down.